Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Raul Melendez. This is MPA 530 Public Finance and Budgeting. Today I will be presenting on California State Budget 2025 and 2026. Here is an overview, Governor's Budget Priorities Proposal, which is held in January, May revision, completed in May, and approved state budgets, which is enacted in the summer. California State Budget. So I just wanted to include this slide to showcase who are the responsible parties, people, or agencies that are involved in this process. So the responsible for preparing and submitting the California state budget proposal to the legislation is Governor Gavin Newsom. He is the executive branch chief executive, and then the state of California Department of Finance, Joe Stephen Shaw, who is the director of the Department of Finance, who serves as a governor's chief fiscal policy advisor, and ultimately submitting this proposal to California state legislature, state capitol. So, proposed budget detail released, which was released on January 10, 2025. So, focusing on the top two priorities of the state, the first one coming in from or about California Health and Human Services Agency. The governor proposed budget includes $296.1 billion, which 83.7 billion come from general fund for all health and human services programs in 2025 and 2026. The second priority of the state is Department of Education. State of California, the budget includes total funding of $137.1 billion, in which 83.3 billion come from general fund and $53.8 billion from other funds for all transitional kindergarten to 12th grade education programs. The revised budget detail, which was revised on May 14th, 2025. So an overview proposed budget was $296.1 billion dollars in 2025, 2026. The May revision came at $302.4 billion dollars for health and human services. What impacted the increase or the drivers were Medi-Cal, developmental services, and in-home support services. On the Department of Education side, as a recap, or the proposed budget was 137.1 billion in 2025, 2026. The May revision includes a total funding of 137.8 billion. The Proposition 98 funding increased support for local control funding formula, special education, and TK, nutrition and preschools. And the enacted budget detail which was enacted on June 27, 2025. As a recap, proposed 296.1 in 2025, 2026, May revision $302.4 billion. The budget includes $307 billion for health and human services programs in 2025, 2026. This was an increase of $4.6 billion. However, there was a federal policy change. The Federal House Resolution 1 was signed on July 4th, 2025, and the budget does not reflect the impacts of this federal legislation. On the Department of Education side, as a recap, proposed $137.1 billion, May revision $137.8 billion. The budget includes total funding of $137.6 billion, which is a difference reduction of $200 million. So for my closing statement, I want to share and say that this is the first time I'm looking into the state fiscal year budget, um, learning about the due dates, deadlines, and how it's prepared in advance, and who are the um, responsible parties and agencies to oversee these monies. So I'm learning a lot. And so, with that said, I was curious to go back a year. And so, I wanted to present and compare this year with last year. So, I went ahead and introduced the enacted budgets, which was conducted on June 26, 2020, 2024. The budget includes for the California Health and Human Services Agency. The budget includes a total funding of $260.8 billion, which is, or it is now, there is a $46.2 billion increase from last year to this year. And then on the Department of Education side, the budget includes total fundings of $133.8 billion, which is not that much of a gap there. 3.8 billion increase from last year to this year. So it is definitely eye-opening to just kind of notice how money is being focused on health and human services, especially with everything that we are seeing at state level, federal level, and so it's good to learn a little bit more about um, budgets and public funding. So, with that said, I'm looking forward to take a quick look at the proposed budget for the 2026 and 2027 fiscal year, which will be coming soon, January 10th, 2026. So, stay tuned. Thank you so much.